Hello, chat. How are we today? Also, let me know how the music is. I can't tell. Oh, first time chat. Hello. Hello to you too. Welcome to stream. Is chat once again being an issue of showing on stream? That was an issue last time, but it just for some reason did not want to show the first few chat messages. Well, we'll find out. We'll find out. But hello. How are all of you doing today? If you were here, not yesterday, 2 days ago, I was working on this commission, and the sketch is done, the mock-up has been approved, and we are now going to be doing line art. Everybody's favorite. I really like line art. I know everyone tends to hate it. I like it. I also played around with some settings on my computer, so maybe we'll be experiencing less. Music sounds good? Okay, cool. Abigail, if you don't stop clawing my chair live on twitch.tv. Man, don't you scratch. Hey, don't scratch my chair. Cats, am I right? Anyways. Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a... Oh, it looks like I'm peeking so much. Hold on, let me scooch that mic away from me a bit. Oh, and there's chat. I don't know why. I don't know why my program is just like, okay, we're just gonna not show the first few chat messages. So the first chatters of stream, I am sorry. Love some good old line art. Yeah, everyone's always hating on line art, but actually that was perfectly fine, Oliver. Don't touch anything. Yeah, I'm really Eepy today, so I don't know if I'm going to be streaming for super long. I'm probably only going to be streaming for about 2 hours-ish, give or take. We'll see. Depends on how Eepy I get in the process. I do have some coffee. Not a replacement for a good night's sleep, but it'll help. Alright, what size lines are we going for? My lines just get thinner and thinner with every drawing. Alright. I debated showing you guys the mock-up, but I think that I'm going to just save for commissioners. Just trust me that it was approved. Yeah, but I feel like already I'm experiencing a bit less lag. So that's good. Not perfect, but better. I did what I could. You get sleep? I certainly try. Whether or not it's successful depends on the night. But you know, it really do be like that, man. Oh, but on the bright side, I don't know how many people watching were here for my stream a few days ago, 2 days ago. But I mentioned possibly doing a peak stream with 2 friends. It is likely going to happen. That is exciting. So y'all can look forward to that. And then I might stream ZA tomorrow. Playing some Pokemon Legends ZA. Depends on how Eepy I am tomorrow. Like, I slept fine yesterday. But then, when I streamed 2 days ago, I was also very tired. And then I woke up today with the intent to stream, and I was very tired. So I don't know what's going on every time I am meant to stream. Abigail, can you not scratch the trans flag hanging in my room? That's very offensive. Hold on. Hold on. Hey. Hey. Get your tush out of here. Again, cats, am I right? Sounds like fun. I love Peak. Yeah, I got really into Peak, like, right at the end of last year. I have been enjoying that game so much, and I am very excited to play it with my 2 good friends. And I hope you are all excited for it as well. I might play around with stream layout. Not too much, but just to make the screen a bit bigger. So then while I'm playing my game, whatever game I'm playing, it'll be a bit larger on the screen. With Deltarune, it wasn't really an issue because it had like the borders already since I was playing on the Switch. And so that was a really easy layout to figure out because I literally didn't have to do anything. I just shoved me and chat in the corner, and then that was it. So it might take a bit of a finagling, but I believe in myself to figure it out. It's not too difficult. Whoops. Also, if you are a user of Clip Studio Paint, I would like to remind you to do your daily login because there's a thing where they're giving away free Clippy right now. So be sure you log in to get your free Clippy. I'm very every time I log into Clip Studio, and I check the asset store basically every day, and just check out the top free section because it does not take long at all to look through all of the top selected things. There's only like 30, I think, in the top free. Like just the general top sections every day. And whenever I come across like a paid one that I really like, I'll star it. So then that way whenever I get Clippy, I can go back and download some of the stuff. So once the event is over and I got all the Clippy, it's going to be over. My favorite hobby is going in the Clip Studio asset store and downloading a bunch of brushes and using 2 of them. For how many brushes I have, I use so little of them. Also, speaking of what's Clippy, I'm not a CSP user, it's basically, in the asset store, you can upload, like, users can upload assets, like brushes or, like, image materials and stuff like that. And when you upload them, you can either make it for free or make it paid. And with paid, it's like, Clippy is basically the Clip Studio currency. So it'll be like, oh, this thing costs 10 Clippy. And you can, like, buy some yourself. You can get some by uploading things to the asset store for free, or sometimes usually for, like, New Year's and stuff, they'll do, like, a login bonus, where, like, if you log in every day for, like, the next month-ish, then you'll get some free Clippy. And it's very nice. Which, by the way, I told this to my friend yesterday, and he didn't know this, so I think it'd be fun to share with you. For Clip Studio users, you'll have probably seen on the asset store that it's common for people to upload something for free for 24 hours. That's because if you upload something for free in the Clip Studio asset store, you yourself get free Clippy, but you get it 2 days after your thing was uploaded for free. So people will upload something for free, wait the 42 hours to get their Clippy, and then after they get their Clippy from uploading it for free, then they'll switch to paid. That's why people do that. And, you know, you gotta respect the hustle. I don't think I'm going to finish the line art on stream, but I should finish most of it. The lag isn't... My computer was struggling with my last commission stream. It's not amazing right now, but it is better. So that was good to figure out. I'll probably play around with some more settings. I don't know if it's, like, really visible on stream. It's more of just, like, me using it. I can't work as fast as I would like. And when you already draw slowly, boy, is that a detriment. But also, I was mentioning my stream layout earlier. I mentioned before I am working on something, and when that happens, I also wanted to do, like, an update visual layout for stream. And so, when I'm doing art streams, do you guys like that it's, like, focused just on the canvas? Or would you also like to see my layers and everything? Because I just assume this way, like, visually it looks a bit cleaner, especially since I have, like, chat and everything on screen. It just makes it look a little bit cleaner and I think less overwhelming, but also, as a viewer of art streams, I don't really have a preference for whether or not I see layers. Maybe I could make, like, 2, because they don't take too long to make if you have, like, a general design, so maybe I'll make 2 different ones, and then one day I'll stream with one, and then one day I'll stream with another, and see what people generally like more. We'll see. Still getting used to this whole Twitch thing. Here we are. Coffee, make me feel alive, please. Kinda making me feel alive. It doesn't really make me less eepy, but ooh boy, I like warm drink. Warm drink is yummy. I don't mind either way, but I agree it would be a lot. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. I think generally people prefer, like, a less cluttered stream layout. Warm drink with marshmallows. Yo, I got some hot chocolate. I still have yet to make, because for Christmas, one of the how are you liking Twitch but I'm streaming on YouTube, I like it a lot more. I think it's definitely the reason I switched over to Twitch from streaming on YouTube is that, like, it kind of got to the point where I was streaming more than making videos because of life. And just to be clear, I'm never gonna quit YouTube. It doesn't matter how inactive I become there, I will always post a next video. But if you're streaming on YouTube, you're mostly streaming for the audience that you already have. It's really hard to grow as a streamer on YouTube. I also remember hearing that YouTube as a company has just invested a lot, like, they've not been investing nearly as much in streaming on YouTube. They basically are making it, like, manageable to do, but they're not really working on improving the experience at all. So, like, if you wanted to grow as a streamer, you basically have to go to Twitch. And so far, I think that's been working out for me. I reached affiliate a lot sooner than I thought I would, which was very nice. And, like, my stream sizes are generally the same, if not a little bigger. Because my streams weren't, like... They were never, like, super packed. They were more packed when I was, like, more active on YouTube. But, generally speaking, my stream sizes are about the same, but it's just a better experience, and hopefully it's something I can continue to grow. I'm really liking it. I've yet to get, I have ads now, I've yet to get a sub, but I'm gonna get one of yous one day. One of yous, one of these days when someone's gonna sub to me. I can feel it. I've also been trying to, like, zoom in less on my canvas, because that was always a tip that I would give people when drawing. And I would say I would try it, but looking back, I really did not, like, try that hard. And now I'm, like, making a conscious effort to not zoom in. And it's helping a lot with, like, speed. And I'm sure, like, with speed paints and everything, I stopped recording my screen and just started using the time-lapse feature in Clip Studio, because I constantly would flip my canvas and zoom in and out, and people are like, you're going to... Yo, Disappointed Cactus! Congrats on being my first ever sub. I'm gonna remember this. Thank you so much. It's very kind of you. I plan on having more emotes and everything, so then that way it'll be like more of a fun first time chat. Thank you, I appreciate it. I think my first ever subscriber exclusive emote, I have a very fun idea for it. I'm going to make a little dancing Zola gif. If you don't know, Zola is my dog. It's just a thing that'd be cute. So, Disappointed Cactus, you'll be on your way to having a dancing Zola gif, and you can flex on everyone in chat for being the only one. Hell yeah, glad you're excited for it. I don't think it should take me too long to make, honestly. I have to catch up on some Patreon work still. But then after I do that, I'll get on that, because I just think about it, I think it'd be very cute. Yeah, let's move to a different layer real quick. But that's like one of the main things that I've been really brainstorming about Twitch is like what emotes to make. I have like a few ideas, but just because like since I've been streaming on YouTube for so long, emotes are something I have not thought much about at all. And I feel like a lot of them, for the most part, I want them to happen naturally. I do want some for like subscribers just to like start out, but over time I mostly just want I want them to come naturally and something that, like, be sure that there's something people will actually use and enjoy. Because I do have one emote that is free to use, I believe. That came from the very first stream, and I still love him dearly. There he is! There's my boy! Micro Brawler from memory. What a guy. Love that guy. I still think about him. He brings me so much joy. Just from the moment I drew that face, I couldn't stop giggling at it. Let's not forget these sideburns, as I often do, for some reason. When you guys do line art, do you, like, do it all in one layer, or do you do it in multiple layers? Because I have one layer by the end, but as I'm working on it, I have, like, 2 layers that I work on, and then I, like, merge down as I work. I've been meaning to play around with, like, the vector layers. Maybe that'll be a stream. Because for this foreseeable future, it will mostly be commissioned streams with some gaming streams tied in, but I do want to do, like, art challenges / video ideas on stream. So maybe that'll be one. Like, one that I still really want to do. I was going to do it forever ago before life got crazy. I wanted to try making a drawing using exclusively the lasso fill tool. Because it's been a tool, ever since switching to Clip Studio, it's been a tool that I have used more and more and more with each drawing. And so I just want to be like, how far can it go? Can I use it for sketching? Who's to say? So maybe I'll just have a stream where I play around with vector layers. I think the main reason I have yet to really switch over to vector layers for line art is because I do these, like, black fills in my line art. And I don't know if y'all have ever, like, toyed around with vector layers. They don't really work in that. So, and then, like, obviously the solution would be to just do them after I do the rest of my line art. But that kind of drives me crazy. So I don't know if I'll ever fully switch over to them for that, but I'll, we'll figure it out. The world is our drawing oyster. Merge that down. Take some coffee. Something that I've become more and more conscious of. If you didn't know, I'm from New York, and I never really thought that I had, like, a super strong New York accent. And I still don't think it's, like, super strong, but sometimes I will say certain words where it really comes out. And the one that gets me every time, because I say it literally every day, just the way I say coffee. It's literally like, coffee. That's a very, like, exaggerated version, but I really do say it like that, huh? And then another one that gets me, is if I need, like, my mom's attention for something. I'm like, hey, Ma. And, like, that's one of the most New York things you can say. Just, hey, ma! And I say it so often. OMG, coffee. Exactly. And, like, since I drink coffee, like, I drink coffee every day, so it's like... I just think about it all the time. I don't know if there's any other, like, super New York words that come out, but those are the two that I've noticed, and I've been on the lookout for even more. I don't know if you've ever seen the clip of Elma saying New York baby boy. I'm not... I gotta look it up. I didn't know Elmo was in it. Where is Sesame Street? Where is Sesame Street located? I was, like, never too big on Sesame Street growing up, so that's not knowledge that I am privy to. Elmo is a silly guy, though. Shout out to Elmo. We love a king who pisses off the US government. Elmo. I have seen the clip of Elmo, though, saying, a plastic water bottle in a paper towel roll. I have seen that clip. That was going around TikTok for a while. I've been meaning to make a version of this brush that has, like, texture to it, because this Lineart brush that I'm using is... It was the default Clip Studio brush, like the default G Pen that I adjusted the settings on. I've been meaning to make a textured version, because I've been wanting to play around with textured line art more. I've been playing a lot more with texture in my art. I would always gravitate towards, like, soft stuff, and I still like the way that looks, but lately, with, like, rendering and everything, I've been using... Like, the one that I've been using is from the asset store called... What's it? Horse Oil Remake. This is what I've been using to, like, render everything. And it's been so fun. I really, really like it. I'm sure at some point I'll end up going back to my smooth watercolor brushes, but for now... I've been really vibing with that. I'll just get rid of that eyebrow corner. I remember when I was in my... I had, like, a digital art class in my high school, and we had a big debate with my teacher about, like, whether eyes and eyebrows should show through hair. Because he said that he really hated, like, in illustrations, like, if I didn't erase this and that was just there, he really hated that. But then all of the students really liked it. So it was a whole debate. Alright, remember when I said I try not to zoom in too much? With eyes, I just gotta. That'll never change. Eyes, I have to see every individual pixel on the screen, otherwise they will not look good. I remember you mentioning this in a video once, oh my god. I didn't even think I ever mentioned that in a video. You know my videos more than I do. But it was like a whole thing. All of the students were like, no, I really like it. And he was like, I don't think it looks good. And we were like, alright, we're gonna fight then. I also remember in one of my creative writing classes, we had a big debate about which is the better movie, WALL-E or Ratatouille. And for the record, both bangers, both amazing movies. So I don't want anyone to think that I think either of them are bad. But I just want to say, I was Team WALL-E. And I would love to hear your thoughts. WALL-E did such a good job with making you feel emotions without having most of that movie. There's no dialogue, and then Disney kind of lost the plot by trying to make WALL-E NFTs, but we can ignore that. But I have not watched either in a really long time, so maybe my opinion has changed, who knows. I haven't seen WALL-E in years. Yeah, I haven't seen it in years either. So glad you agree, because they're both bangers, but it's Ratatouille from what I remember. That's fair. I just want... It got real heated, man, because people were slandering WALL-E, and I'm like, don't you dare. He's a silly little guy, don't be mean to him. They're both great movies, though. I really want to... I think it would be really fun at some point, because don't people do, like, watch parties and watch-alongs on Twitch? I think that'd be really fun, but I have to figure out, like, the logistics of that and how to not get a copyright strike. From my understanding, Twitch is more lenient with that stuff than YouTube, but it's not a free-for-all. I love seeing your chat of, I fucked that sentence up so bad without reading the sentence. So let's read it. Let's see how you fucked up. I love Ratatouille but pretty much just because I love cooking and food. You know, I understood what you meant, so we'll call it a win. Alright. Going in the pixel trenches. Appreciate it anytime. I'm also someone who struggles with language and speaking. I think it's so funny whenever there's someone like online who's like, sorry, if anything is wrong, English isn't my first language. Meanwhile, they're speaking like a Harvard professor. And then English is my first and only language that I speak. And I can't say most sentences. I'm just so bad at it. I don't know how talking became my job. They're like, sorry, English is like my fourth language and the one I understand the least. Anyway, English is hard, overly complicated. It is. Like, even as an English speaker, like, obviously since it's my first language, I haven't really thought too hard of it, but like, the older I get, I'm just like, it's a miracle anyone can learn this fuck-ass language. And, like, I see a lot of YouTube shorts of, like, just pointing out how strange the English language is. And I'm like, yeah. Shit's hard, man. Whoops. Like, what are the words that people always point out whenever they talk about how hard English is? It's like tough, though, and through. Spelled very similarly. Pronounced very differently. I don't know who decided this. Listening to this playlist, I am reminded that I have to add Legends ZA music to it. Generally, I think that that soundtrack is very minimal, but the songs that they have are so good. I like how Tear, parentheses, eyeball juice, and tear rip are spelled the same. Yeah, like read and red also. Or lead in lead. We have way too many words that are spelled the same but said differently. I don't know who decided that, but I think we gotta kill them. There's no other option. They gotta go. But yeah, I was talking about Legend ZA music and like the songs. I feel like the soundtrack is pretty minimal, but the songs that they have, oh boy, do they hit. Grab the pitchforks, exactly. Like the nighttime Lumios song, oh my god. Every time that song comes on. Like, I prefer playing the game at night just because of that song. It's so good. And as soon as I get around to it, that song is going straight in the playlist. Alright, that eye's done. Zoom in one more time. I'll finish this face, and then we won't have to look at all of the individual pixels on screen anymore. I do have a dead pixel on this tablet, and it's generally not very noticeable because it's like down in the corner, but sometimes when I am doing line art, it gets me. Because I used to never do black line art. But for some reason, over the past few years, I was like, fuck it. Black line art. And obviously the dead pixel is black. And so sometimes when I'm doing line art, if I just happen to gaze into that corner, it throws me off. I also don't know how many of you are longtime viewers of my streams, but I'm not using my clicky-clacky keyboard that makes my little PNG avatar open his mouth. My old keyboard used to... I mean, I'll still use it sometimes, but some of the keyboards are, like, I have spilled coffee on it multiple times, and now some of the keys don't work for some reason. There's no way to know. There's no way to know how that happened. No, those eyelashes are not the same. Let me actually make this sketch invisible real quick. Your keyboard is thirsty. Doesn't coffee make you dehydrated? So I don't think that was very smart of my keyboard, if that's the case. I'm pretty sure it dehydrates you. And then one more eyelash. Maybe a little bit lower. Here we are. But I do still use it at night, because the keys glow. And so when it's nighttime, I have an easier time using it because I can actually see what's on the keyboard. I don't know if y'all knew that, but being able to see the keyboard makes it easier to use. I think that's probably my biggest tip for using the keyboard, is make sure you can see it. Excuse me as I shuffle in my chair, because I can't sit in it regularly. I am bisexual, it's illegal for me to sit in a chair regularly. Alright, I can bring that sketch layer back. No. Undo, please. Thank you. Yeah, my computer still is a little laggy, but it's fine. It's so much better than it was yesterday. Zoom. How close can we get to this man's eyeball? There we are. Are those pupils the same size? Maybe I think this one needs to be a bit bigger. Come on, there we go. Enlarge this a little bit. There we are. Beautiful. You're beautiful. Okay. Whoops. I love misclicking. It's my favorite thing in the world to do. Okay. I don't know when or why I started like drawing the highlights like this, but you know, sometimes I really do just be like that. Sometimes you just make decisions because they look good, and sometimes in art, that's all the decisions that you need. Alright, let's finish this man's face so we can back up. We're standing a little close. Is that mouth centered? No, I think it needs to be scooched over a bit. It's shifting to the... Actually, let me finish doing the line art and then I'll move it over. Seems a little shifted off to the side. Kind of reminds me of confetti. Looks nice. Nice. I'd say that's what I was going for, but I don't know what I was going... You know what? I'm just gonna make it sound intentional. That's what I was going for. How do you make the background effects in your drawings? Do you draw them yourself? You mean just like the... anything behind the character? It depends. I download a lot from the Clip Studio asset store. But I very rarely use an asset as is. There is a lot of editing that goes into it. Here, I can show you an example in a second. Let me nudge this mouth over. There you go. That looks much better. Let's see. So there's one that I have showed y'all last stream. If we look at this once it loads, like this in the background, this little lace doily thing is something I downloaded, but I filled in the white. These shapes are something I downloaded, but it was like just a black fill, and it wasn't like these like stripey stuff. So basically, I think I can actually show you. Let me... Actually, I don't want to risk that. I have some things in there. But basically, it was like... it would just be like this shape as like an image asset, and then I would layer them and like change the colors of them. So a lot of this stuff, I download a lot of assets, but then I like change them to make them like different. Sometimes I'll draw something by myself, sometimes I'll use brushes, sometimes I'll just use gradients and stripes and halftones and whatever. It really just depends on the drawing. But whenever I do use stuff from the asset store, I try to make it like... I try to transform it as much as I can so it doesn't look like I'm using that. Obviously, if I upload them to the asset store, they want you to use them. But I don't know, I just personally try to change it up a little. Alright. Nose good. Can finally back up. We've been zoomed into this man's face for so long. Drop a quick save. Yummy, yummy. I feel like out of all of the Pokemon songs, this one sounds the least like a Pokemon song. I still love it, obviously it also wouldn't be in this playlist. But I just feel like whenever you think of Pokemon soundtracks, this song isn't typically what you think of. Oh my god, I have two, Twitch things pulled up on my computer right now. One says I have 17 viewers, one says I have 14 viewers. What's the truth? Twitch is trying to gaslight me about how many people are watching right now. Type 1 if you're watching right now. Type 2 if you turned your computer on and walked away. Yeah, that's work. 3? Damn, I don't know what that means. Three means you turned it on but are looking away. You're in the room but you are not you are not witnessing what is happening. Uh, 12 to 7, yeah. That's how many people are watching, my favorite number. 12 to 7 people. By the way, I don't know how many people of you watching are like freelance artists, how many of you do commissions. Highly, highly, highly recommend, wherever you have your payment info, add an additional... Oh, first time chat. I've been watching YouTube for a long time. Finally got to chat. Thank you for the chat. Finally got the chance to catch one of your streams. Love your art so much. Thank you. That's very kind of you. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good time, whether you are active in chat or lurking. But anyways, if you are a freelance artist, wherever you have your commission price info, absolutely add an additional line of text that says tips are not required but appreciated. It's not that people don't want to tip the artist that they're commissioning. People just don't generally think to. I, before adding that, have never gotten a single tip. Since adding that, I get them, not every commission, but I get them fairly regularly. So absolutely add that if you are taking art commissions. It's very, very helpful. Alright, time to draw his gay little cravat. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Not all gay people wear cravats, but all cravat wearers are gay. I have yet to be proven wrong. Come on. You can do it, Oliver. You've drawn cravats before. Arguably, you draw them too much. I feel like cravats are one of the things where I'm just like, oh, you need a character, you need to add more details to this design, but don't know what to do. Ruffles and cravats. Can never go wrong. Whoops. And the song is such a bop, and I forget every single time. And then every time it comes on, I'm just like, damn. Turns out, Toby Fox does make good music. Has anyone talked about that? Does anyone know this? Does anyone know that Toby Fox is good at music? Want to do commissions, but I'm too nervous. It's just easier to do booths at craft fairs, cons. Maybe one day you will. I am the exact opposite in the sense that I would love to do what you do with, like, booths. But I'm way too nervous to do that, so I just do commissions. Maybe if we fuse, we can both do anything that we put our whole hearts to. I feel like every artist has, like, their commission horror story, but I have yet to have one. I'm sure, like, I plan on doing this for the foreseeable future, but, you telling me a Fox Toby'd this beat? That's what I'm saying. You telling me a Fox did this? But honestly, I've never had, like, a bad commission experience. Everyone I've, like, had commissioned me has been very, very lovely and understanding. So I would definitely say go for it. Obviously, it's like, I don't know your specific circumstance, but I definitely think it's worth it to go, if you want to give it a go. Wasn't there a Deltarune newsletter over the holidays? I gotta read that. I'm like still reeling from how good Chapter 4 was. You already know I'm going to be streaming the new chapters whenever they come out. And I have for all the Deltarune fans out there, I have a question, because I feel like I'm going insane. It could just be me misremembering, or maybe there is a change in plans. I don't know, and also I don't care. I just want to know the answer. I have strong memories of when Deltarune, it was just chapters 1 and 2, and on the menu select screen you can see all of the chapters. I strongly remember there being a chapter 8, but now it just goes up to 7, and I don't know if, like, the plans have changed, or if I'm just misremembering. Because my memory is really shit, so I could just be misremembering. I very strongly... You actually got me to play Deltarune, so I'm new to this. Well, I'm glad I got you to play it. It's a phenomenal game. I so vividly remember that. But I have not seen anyone else talk about it, so I'm like, maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, it's just some of my, one of my all-time favorite games. Honestly, if I didn't have such, like, an emotional attachment to Pokemon as a series, it probably would be my number one. Like, it's just a game that is so up my alley. And I did finally make a drawing of Susie that I liked. On my, if you go to my YouTube and look at my shorts, I did that Sienna trend. And that drawing of Susie in there, I actually really like it, which never happens. I'm so bad at drawing Susie. I feel like we all have a moment where we gaslight ourselves into remembering something that might have not happened. Yep. And that could very well be it. I just need to know if anybody else is like, remembering that. But it could just be me forgetting. I have a horrible, horrible memory. I remember when I was first, like, I always had, like, a sneaking suspicion that I had ADHD. Oh, first time chat, watch your videos, glad I could catch you live. Hell yeah. Thanks for stopping by. But I remember when I first was, like, learning about ADHD, and, like, the more I learned about it, the more I was like, you know, suddenly everything makes a lot of sense. When I learned that, like, having a poor memory was really, really common with ADHD, I'm just like, damn. You're telling me this whole time it was the ADDA? I'll add the details later. Let me zoom out a bit, actually. I remember when I was putting this playlist together, this song, I had to try so hard to find, like, an extended version of it, because this is Baloo's theme from Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, I believe. It's like 40 seconds long. So I had to find an extended version that was not like 10 minutes. I have both autism and ADHD, and it was difficult for years to have both those diagnoses on paper. Yeah, those are, like, two things that doctors are very, very hesitant to diagnose, from what I understand. Autism especially, but ADHD, they're basically like, if you're not a 7-year-old boy, you don't have ADHD. I think it's getting better now, but it's still something that's, like, I'm pretty sure ADHD in adults is heavily underdiagnosed. Doctors are, like, a little bit more comfortable diagnosing autism, but it's still something that is also even more underdiagnosed than ADHD, from what I understand. 'Cause I have a friend who's a psychology major, and he said that if somebody, like, autism has a lot of overlapping symptoms with, like, depression, anxiety, ADHD, OCD, and I think bipolar, I think, was the ones. And even though if you have symptoms of all of those, it's more likely that you have autism, but a doctor is more likely to diagnose you with all of those individually instead of autism. Now, through when I was diagnosed, and I am AFAB, which is super uncommon. Oh yeah, that's, like, very, very rare. Because I am also AFAB, and I have a brother who is cis, and, like, obviously growing up, I grew up as a little girl, and we had a lot of similar showings of ADHD, but the school we were going to at the time was trying to, like, encourage my mom to get him an ADHD diagnosis. No one said shit about me. Most AFAB individuals get diagnosed later in life. Yeah, I'm pretty sure masking of symptoms, specifically with, like, ADHD and autism, but just various diagnoses in general, I'm pretty sure masking your symptoms is a lot more common, unsurprisingly. So getting any sort of diagnosis, like, wasn't it a belief for a long time that, like, girls just could not have autism? Wasn't that, like, a belief that some doctors had? Which is wild to think about. I don't know why I'm like, I have a tool that lets me draw 2 lines at once, and I'm just not using it. That's life, I guess. Making things difficult for yourself when they don't need to be. No, I think that needs to be up a little bit. I fell in love with this song the moment I heard the first few notes. It's so good. ADHD is a bit of a beast. Kind of learned how to get the hang of it a bit. Yeah, I assume it's... especially with how the world sees those things, it's hard to get a grasp of. Kind of learn to work with ADHD instead of trying to change it. Yeah. From my understanding, I just got 2 ads back to back. Well, you know how you can get around that. Dropping a sub and also maybe linking your Prime account to your Twitch account. Getting that free Prime sub. Reason I get nervous to do commissions is because all I got is Cash App, and Apple iPad runs poorly, and Ibis Paint. I'll probably just save up till I get a proper computer laptop. That's very fair. Honestly, though, I've seen people like take art commissions with when all they have is like a mobile app or like a iPad or something. I think it has to do like less with. Let me actually put this on its own layer. Let's label that. Lace, like, definitely don't take sub button plug. Let's go. Yeah, I'm affiliate now, which means I can do that. I think it's less to do with what tools you have available and more to do with if you are confident in providing a commission of quality. Because there are some people who use, like, Ibis Paint, and you would have thought that they use, like, Clip Studio or Photoshop. It really is just entirely dependent on your understanding of the program. I have a really nice UI on tablet, and I have Clip Studio Paint on a computer. That makes it easier, but it is not at all a requirement. Confidence is in the craft is the name of the game. It really, really is. Like, you can be using, like, MS Paint, and I promise you people don't really care what programs you use as long as you can provide a commission that people are happy with. 2 ads is very low. The most I've gotten here on Twitch is 9. Damn. Want to know how you can get around that? Subscribing your link. I'm kidding, I won't do the plug again. But yeah, like, obviously if you don't think you can provide a quality commission, then it's probably best to wait until you are confident you can do that, but don't, by all means, don't let your materials and things that you have available hold you back. Full-heartedly agree with that take. Yeah, Because I'm always right about everything. I've never been wrong in my life. But yeah, that's my take. It does really piss me off though when I see people doing I don't know, I'm sorry, I heard confidence is in the ass. I mean that too. That is where the confidence is stored. It's in them cheeks. But it does piss me off when I see people, I don't know if you all have seen any, like, AI art commissions going on. I don't know how common they are anymore, but I remember when that was, like, a few years ago, it was super, super, like, common, and people are charging, like, artist prices for it. And I'm like, if an artist is charging like a full body, full rendered commission for $300, that people are like, that's too much money. But like, no, that makes sense, because doing a full render, full body drawing takes a lot of time and skill to do. And then I see people do full body, full render AI illustrations, render in question mark or quotation marks, and charging $300 for that, and people are like, hell yeah, let's go. This makes perfect sense. And I'm like, it doesn't. You didn't do anything to do that. More confident in my traditional art, but I don't think anyone's gonna want a sketchbook spreadsheet commission or something. You would be surprised. Like, honestly, I think, like, that, I know that stuff is, like, super common with, like, I think the people who would want that most are, like, D&D people. A lot of people love to commission D&D character sheets. I don't have those available yet, but I would like to do them in the future because it's something I know I can do, and it's something that people want. I think that that's something that could work really well if you were doing like a sketchbook spread type thing, like a character sketch sheet or something like that, or like an expression sheet. You'd really be surprised. Like, most of my commissions are not finished illustrations. Like, when I take 5 commissions at a time, and then I do those, and then I open another 5, and then I do those, and then I open another 5. Most of my commissions are not full renders or even cell shade. When I got this batch and they were all either cell shaded or full rendered, I was astonished, because normally it's like, this person wants a sketch, and then this person also wants a sketch, this person wants line art, this person wants a full render, but this person wants a sketch. So you'd really be surprised. It's also worth noting that depending on the artist and where they are in the world, or what level of wage looks like for them, oh yeah, absolutely. Like, something that I've really had to, like, get better at is not underpricing myself. Because, like, I'll see an artist with, similar prices to mine, or in some cases the exact same price as mine. I'm like, yeah, no, that makes sense. If anything, you should be charging more. And then I'll, look at my prices, and then I'm like, but that's expensive. Brings back to your wonderful video about why artists hate AI art. Hell yeah. And you still recommend that video? Thank you for recommending that video. That was I've thought about making a follow-up to it, but I also am not sure if I could add anything else to it. Like, I have some thoughts. Like, I just don't know if it's really worth making a part 2 for. But I really appreciate that, thank you. Busted my ass on that video. But yeah, I've been really trying to not underprice myself this time. And I think my prices are fine now. I don't think I had a problem in the past of, like, repeatedly underpricing. I just think people don't realize how long art takes. Speaking of the AI video, though, I'm pretty sure this is like fairly common knowledge, but for anyone who doesn't really know too much about like how content creators work behind the scenes, basically, they'll read comments on a video for like a day or two after it's posted, and then after that they just won't. Because it kind of gets to the point where it's just too much to keep up with. But also, if you have like the YouTube Studio app on your phone, it'll show you like most recent comments just all across your channel. Like as soon as you open it on the first page, it'll show you like recent comments from all across the channel, no matter how old a video is or how old a comment is. If it's your most recent comment on a video, if it's like a comment people left yesterday on a video from 10 years ago, it'll pop up there, right on top. And so I opened YouTube, the YouTube Studio app, just to check on some things. And I saw there was a comment of someone saying, like, on that AI video saying, I'm an artist, I even have a degree. I don't feel upset by AI art because I don't feel entitled to get paid for my drawings. And I'm like, you mean like a job? You mean a job that people, like a thing that people get paid for? And like, how dare I go to a restaurant? Honestly, like going to a restaurant and the entitlement of those chefs to get paid for their food. Like, why are they so entitled to money for cooking for me? Absurd. Like, if I'm a freelance artist and people are commissioning me, yeah, I want to get paid for that. Good for you, buddy, you're privileged. I wouldn't even say that, it's common sense that if you want someone to do a service for you, you're gonna pay them. I don't even think that's a privilege thing, I just think that's a common sense thing. And also, I'm gonna be honest, I'm questioning the fact that you have an art degree, because no artist thinks like that. Like, at all. No, I mean, they don't have to compete. Yeah, that's true. Just having to, like... Just saying that it's entitlement is so funny to me. Oh my god, speaking of really funny comments that I got, it was... on Blue Sky, which is where I am... Aside from YouTube, probably most active on social media, similar to Twitter, there's like the section where it has like your likes, and then a section where you have like mentions. And for a while, that section just like was not working for me. Oh, first time chat. Shocking to me how many professional artists at my art University of Pro II. Those are not. Those are less artists and more I want to make money off of creative people. How dare we as Gen Z expect to be compensated for our time and effort? Exactly, we are so entitled and lazy, honestly. Honestly, we should be paying people to have work. We should be paying our employers. We need to stop being so entitled and lazy. But I got on Blue Sky, that section where it has like your mentions, it just was not working for me for a while. I don't really know what the issue was. But it finally just randomly was working again, and I'm like, oh, okay, well let me take a peek in here, see if I missed any comments, and it was an old drawing of my character Andy, who some of you may know and love. And the comment said, you just love sexualizing AFAB non-binary people. And I'm like, who's gonna tell them? Who's gonna tell them? I didn't respond to it because it was like both an old post and an old comment, and I'm just like, I don't see the point in like talking to them with this. And I'm just like, Andy's not AFAB, and my most sexualized character is a cis man. Like, I don't know what to tell you. It just made me laugh a lot. Wish I could explain my traditional art for more context, but I'm not good with words. Like, it's typically a mixture of drawing and a lot of collages with newspaper, magazines, clippings, stuff like that. Very cluttered. Honestly, that's kind of how my sketchbooks are. Something that you might, I don't know if you do this already, but something that people might enjoy from you, is like, if you sold, like, PDF scans of your sketchbooks. I really like doing that. I think AFAB people can enjoy getting frisky. Yeah, it's like, that's the thing. Like, there were so many things wrong with that comment. It's like, Andy is not AFAB. My most sexualized character is a cis man. I'm AFAB. And also AFAB non-binary people, whether they're feminine or not, can enjoy being a little spicy. Like, I don't know what to tell you, man. Just, it is what it is. Alright, I'll make that look more like gold jewels when I render this. It was just a really funny comment. I have to read you guys. I am pausing the music for this. I need to read you guys the funniest fucking DM that I ever got. I love it so much. I'm gonna try and read it as is with all of the grammatical, we'll say liberties. I was wondering if you can redraw my OC and give it a different perspective, like sitting or reading, and your videos are the best. One of my favorite OCs of yours is the one with the red bow on her head, and the second favorite of mine is Andy, you know, the one with the blue hair. Anyway, could you please do it in a video, please? Blue heart. It's a girl, and she likes stars, hearts, spelled with, like, H-A-R-T-S, diamonds, and short sweaters and beanies. You know, the hat with the cotton ball on it. She has a chest size of 90 centimeters, parentheses, 35 inches, like Junko from Danganronpa, because that's my favorite character, and her color style is black, pink, red, blue, and some sunset colors. I'm still working on a backstory for this caricature. P.S. Can you please make it hot? Write back to me as soon as you're available. Thank you. I think of that DM every day of my life. It's so fucking funny. I just love the P.S. Can you please make it hot? Just, I need to make it hot. That's what I gotta remember. Well, did you do it? I dropped everything for it, of course. It's my favorite DM I've ever gotten. It's so good. I think now you're obligated to draw that. I just constantly just think of, P.S. Can you please make it hot? Got a new format for when I'm able to commission you? Yeah. I'll only be accepting commissions if they're like that. Oh my god, it's so good. I wanted to make, like, a 3-part video series similar to that in nature, where it's like, my favorite DM I ever got. I just wanted them to be like little animatic sort of things. I wanted it to be my favorite DM I ever got, my favorite comment I ever got, and my favorite spam email I ever got. And they're all, I'm gonna say along those lines, because they're so good. They're so good. I've been wanting to do that for so long, and maybe one of these days I'll get around to it. Maybe I can draw some of them on Twitch. But absolutely S tier DM. Oh my god, I almost just choked on my coffee. That would have been really bad. Alright, let's do the shirt. These lines on the shirt. I am curious, for anyone who wasn't here in my last stream where I was working on this, I'm curious to see if you can guess who the face claim is for this guy. They didn't have, these characters didn't have like character sheets, but they had like face claims and then like a general aesthetic and then like character descriptions. I'm curious to see. By the way, I want to yap a bit about our OCs. I'm down to hear. I love that shit. Hell yeah, of course. Do you have any characters of mine that you're curious about? I haven't mentioned my... I used to do, like, my OC series. I don't do them anymore. Long story short, it's because I associate them with a really bad time in my life, and I don't think I can ever not associate them with that really bad time in my life. But I'm always happy to... Oh, here's some OC stuff. The one regret I have about not doing the OC series anymore, is the way Luca has changed. Because that story has gone through a lot of, like, concepts and reboots. And Luca is pretty different now. Generally, on the surface, he seems very much the same, but basically it's all fake, and he's a lot internally edgier, and he's just, like, not... He's, like, a lot more... I'm gonna say an asshole, but I'm not gonna say... I don't mean that in, like, a malicious way. He's not a malicious person. He's a lot more blunt, straight to the point, not at all, like, happy, cheery stuff, but he certainly pretends to be, for people who don't really know him. People don't really know he's like that. Basically, it's just Rory who knows that, obviously, because they're very close, and then Andy finds out accidentally. But he's a pretty different character. Like, on the surface, he seems very much the same, but... Asshole, parentheses, affectionate. Hi, I'm Freda Cass is the second character, and this is mine. I'm losing my mind, dude, watching these streams. You're so talented. Thank you so much. Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, he mentioned that you might pop in. I'm having a lot of fun drawing them, too. Here's the line art so far. We are working on it. It's very fun. I'm having a lot of fun. I am very Eepy today, so I'm probably going to be... I said I was going to be streaming for about 2 hours, and we're at, like, an hour, 23 minutes, according to my little timer. So not too much longer, but I'm having a lot of fun working on this. Trigger warning, Volo. Forgot this song was in here. Oh, I forgot the buttons. Oh no. Super love the OC series. I would make sure to watch all of them. Yeah, I'm never gonna take those videos down, because I know that people really like them and they mean a lot to people, but I don't think I could ever bring myself to do them again, because it just really brings me back into, like... It was when I was very much not okay, but trying to, like, pretend that I was okay, basically. Because I had just experienced a very traumatic event, and I was using them as a way to, like, try and be fine when I wasn't. And I don't think they could ever not be that for me. But I also understand that a lot of people really, really loved those videos, so I'm never gonna, like, take them down or anything, so don't worry about that. Incredibly obsessed with my shonen OCs lately. Not a normal person about them. I love making a new OC. And then they just take up all of your headspace. You're like, my brain is solely to think about you now and nothing else. That's exactly how it was when I made Andy. And some would say I never stopped. That's just how I always am. But it was a problem. Honestly, though, I do credit Andy as being the reason my art progressed the way that it did, because my art, I would say, like, the most progression I've ever had year to year in my art was from, like, between the ages of 16 and 17, like, turning 16 to turning 17. No, just turned 16 to just turned 17. Like, and maybe, like, a little bit after that time frame, I've never had my art improve so quickly. And it's because I made Andy and I could not stop drawing them. I was obsessed. And, like, I filled out 3 sketchbooks in the span of, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 months, because I was basically non-stop drawing them for that entire time. And that's also around the time I made, like, shortly after I made Andy, I made Luca and Rory, and then shortly came Sawyer and Mabel and Cairo. It was a problem. Like, that was also obviously when I was in high school. So I was drawing in the middle of all of my classes and all of my study halls during my lunch period. I'd go home and I'd draw. Finally poking my head in. Hi, Cass. I'm drawing your boys. Well, your one boy and your other boy's boy. I wish I had an OC to obsess over. I feel like if you work on it, I feel like if you just draw characters regularly, it'll happen eventually. Like, I've always just designed a lot of characters, and I made a lot of characters that I liked, but that was the first time. Like, drawing Andy was the first time it really got me. The guy I've been drawing as long as I can remember, since I could hold a pencil, basically. And during that entire time, I've always made characters, and I've always liked them, and I would always draw them a few times. Andy was the first time where I'm just like, I live and breathe for you. I exist for you. Cass can confirm this is real. That is a good point that I didn't have you to confirm. I kind of just believed that person. I kind of just believed them. But I'm glad it's real. Have OCs like that. Just don't have the grind set mindset to draw that much. Yeah. Honestly, it was the neurodivergence. I wish I could be like that anymore. I have never had an experience like that since. I've had characters that I've, like, hyperfixated over, but I've never had one where I'm, like, drawing basically every waking moment. That's, like, the one time, literally making Andy is what set my art on the current path that it is at. Because that's also the time where I was, like, trying to figure out an art style that I could truly call my own. So my god, Andy was everywhere. Can't think of an OC that's making my art improve drastically. Tends to jump from story to obsess over. Yeah, I felt that. I got really sad the other day. It was either last night or the night before, because I was just thinking about my comic and how much I missed them. So I'm like, as soon as I catch up with commissions and Patreon work, I am working on that goddamn comic. I love them so much. And, like, there's so many scenes that I'm excited for. But if you missed my catching up stream recently, I mentioned how I joke about every time I go to release a new chapter of my comic, at least one traumatic life event happens, and that has rung true still. But you know what? I cannot be stopped. I will make it. I will finish this comic someday. It'll happen. Trust me. I have a hard time liking fiction. I have a hard time liking. I can read. Good comment. Liking fictional characters in media to the extent of obsession. The only character that has completely shattered that is Trafalgar D. Waterlaw in One Piece. I have yet to watch One Piece. Honestly, like, it truly is the neurodivergence. I think explaining that hyperfixation to people who don't get it is really hard. Like, I think one of the biggest hyperfixations that I've had on fictional characters, like Loxus and the Thunder Legion from Fairy Tail for sure, still to this day probably the bigger one, like probably the biggest one, and then Lightning from Final Fantasy 13. That was another huge one. and then Guzma from Pokemon Sun and Moon. Those I've had hyperfixations on like franchises and like the characters as a whole. But those are the ones where I'm just like, these characters are everything to me. But yeah, I have yet to watch One Piece. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if it's something that will ever happen. I'm not gonna say never. But at this point, it's unlikely. I did hear, I don't know if this is true, but maybe the One Piece fans in chat can confirm. I have heard rumors that it is going to be ending soon. I hear that the final story arc is being made. And if that is true, maybe I'll finish it when it ends. But it is a massive commitment. It's a lot. And funnily enough, I talk all the time about how Fairy Tail is my favorite anime. Ironically enough, I tend to not enjoy long-running series. I got into Fairy Tail purely on accident. It's because at the time I was just watching a bunch of anime on Netflix, and they had it, and I was like, oh, it's 48 episodes? That's a bit longer than what I typically go for, but it sounds interesting, so I'll watch it. I watched it. My life was forever changed. And then I found out that there was more than just those 48 episodes, and I was like, God fucking damn it. Well, my life is already ruined by this show. I gotta keep going. One of those shows where once you get into it, you get sad that there's only X amount of episodes left after getting really into it. Yeah. Maybe someday I'll get into One Piece. I'm gonna be honest, though, like, as a Fairy Tail fan, I don't really want to get into One Piece for one reason and one reason only. And it's because, as a Fairy Tail fan, the thing I constantly get in regards to One Piece is you will probably like One Piece a lot more than Fairy Tail. It's because it's so much better. And everything it does, One Piece does better. And I'm like, I don't care if I watch that and I agree. Just the fact that you're saying that to me makes me not want to watch it. Just because, like, I don't know, it's really annoying when it's like your pitch to me to try and watch your favorite shows to bash on my favorite show. Like, every time somebody hears I have not watched One Piece and want me to watch Fairy Tail, they're like, I'm just gonna talk bad about Fairy Tail because One Piece is better. And I'm just like, doing that does not make me want to watch it. I hope you realize. It's always one of One Piece's different arcs, like anime themselves, and finishing one is finishing a whole anime. That's, with how long-running that anime is, probably the best way to think about it. Who gives a shit? Just don't bash the media and don't be a dick. Yeah, I think it's so unbelievably lame and, like, extremely cringy to, like, make someone feel bad or, like, shit on someone for liking something. I think that's one of the most lame things that you can do, especially if the thing that they like is really harmless. Like, yeah, Fairy Tail has its cringe moments, but I like it. It's very fun, and it means a lot to me. I don't care if you don't like it. Let me enjoy my silly guys. Especially when the thing is, like, popular. Like, I feel like that's something that I will never get. Like, I know recently there's a lot of, like, baby no money hate, which I feel like is extremely forced and I don't understand. Like, everyone was like, I love you and I love your music, this is so cool, you're such a chill guy. And then all of a sudden everyone hated it and was like, I genuinely think it's just because he got as popular as it is. Never like that argument, something good doesn't mean you'll like it, special interests don't care, it's just good or bad. Exactly. And, like, I think people really are hesitant to be critical of the things that they like. Like, I can confidently say Fairy Tail is my favorite show of all time. I can confidently say there's a lot of good parts about it, and I can confidently say how much it means to me and how good, like, it's just so good to me, and I love it. I can also confidently say the final story arc of Fairy Tail is one of the worst pieces of shit I've ever watched. Like, both things can be true. I don't know, I just think people are either like, this thing is perfect or this thing is ass, and they're so reluctant to have, like, an in-between. Like, Cass knows how much I like Ace Attorney. I also watch him play Ace Attorney regularly, and he heard everything I had to say about Turnabout Big Top. Like, you can like something and also be critical of it. It's fine. If anything, I would say that that's the best way. Don't even talk to me about Turnabout Big Top. I'm sorry I brought it up. But if it makes you feel better, most people feel that way about it. But yeah, no, I feel like I would much rather talk to someone who's, like, critical of the things that they like versus talking to someone who just praises it on every corner and gets mad at criticisms about it. I absolutely love Baby No Money. He's the only rapper I listen to. Yeah, I don't typically, like, his music isn't something that, like, I would choose to listen to on my own, just because I don't really listen to rap music either. But I wouldn't say I dislike his music. Like, they're fine. Like, if I was hanging out with someone and they turned his music on, I wouldn't complain. I genuinely just think people started hating him because he became very popular, and that's all there is to it. It doesn't have to be all or nothing. And also let there be space for the casual enjoyer. Exactly. But the Baby No Money hate I'll never really get. It just seemed so random and out of nowhere. Like, literally nothing about him or his music changed. Just people's attitude towards him did. Fun fact, this hand is my hand. Also, Cass, while you're here, Six messaged me with excellent news. He is not working next Wednesday. It's happening. We're gonna play Peak live on twitch.tv. I'm so excited. Was that where his thumb is, or was this? Is this his thumb? We're gonna prove that we're not the same person to everyone? Yeah. You all have been the same person the entire time. You just pretend to be British half the time. Alright, I gotta bring this up. Who was... Okay, this is his thumb. I can confirm, okay. Worst time for ads. You want to know how you can avoid that? Dropping a sub or linking your Twitch account to your Prime account. Oh, I love me chips and tea and knit. I would love to learn how to do a really convincing British accent. Just because I think that'd be funny to pull out whenever I'm in conversations with you. I also, whenever my sister gets a computer, I would love to play Peak with her. Specifically on stream, so I can clip her doing her British accent, because sometimes, it's funny when you do it anytime. Yeah, I'm so bad at accents. But sometimes whenever my sister gets frustrated, she'll just bust out a British accent, and I'm like, okay. Oh my god, speaking of Guzmo, we mentioned him earlier. My boy. Does this song count as listening to rap music? Team Skull is still, to this day, my favorite Pokemon Evil team. They're so good. Love them dearly. This is a bop. This is Guzma's theme song! I love him! Do y'all remember when Sun and Moon came out, do y'all remember the theory that his dad was abusive? Do you remember that? Oh god, yeah. Unfortunately, a fair amount of evidence pointing to it. It's very sad. I've been really itching to go back to Sun and Moon. The main thing, I really want to go back to Ultra Sun and Moon specifically, because I really want to shiny hunt all of the Warp Ride legendaries. I have a copy of Ultra Sun that is untouched, but I have played through Ultra Moon, and I'm basically right now I'm debating if I want to reset that save or if I just want to buy a separate cartridge, because Ultra Sun and Moon are not terribly expensive games. Like, they're about $50 each, which I'm pretty sure is more than what they were sold for, but they're not, like, horribly expensive. I guess it just depends if I'm able to, like, get a little extra money one month. Because I don't have, like, a DS capture card, so I would have to figure out how to do, like, setups, but I really want to shiny hunt all of those legendaries. I think it's not something that I'm ever going to, like, actively sit down and try and do in multiple sittings, like, on stream or anything, but over the course of me playing Pokemon throughout my entire life, I do think it would be neat to get a shiny Living Dex. I have so many. I have so many shiny Pokemon between, like, Legends Arceus, Legends ZA, and Scarlet and Violet. I have a ton of shinies. So I think it's possible to do before I die. But I really want to get the legendaries through that. I think it'd be fun. You love Torture? I like shiny hunting. It's so... I didn't expect to get into it as much as I did, but Scarlet and Violet really got me into shiny hunting because it's so easy to do in that game. Maybe before stream ends I can I can show y'all all my shinies. I might have to set up my... Actually, I don't think my Elgato's set up right now. I don't think I can do that. But when I play Legends Z, I might stream Legends ZA tomorrow, so if I do that, then I'll show you all of my shinies. Recently found out there's a game where you fuse the Pokemon. Have you played it? Are you talking about... You're either talking about a fan game or Black 2, White 2. I've played Black 2, White 2. I have not played any Pokemon fan games. I know that there's the website where you fuse Pokemon, and some of them are super cool and some of them are super cursed. I think it'd be really funny on stream to fuse them and then make fan art. I think that'd be really fun. Which also, if y'all remember my Pokemon Gajinka streams, I'm planning on starting those. Those are gonna be a weekly thing again. Just once I have to catch up with commission work and Patreon work. That's like my two main goals right now. And then after that, I'm gonna be doing Pokemon Gajinkas again. May I have to dip, sorry gamers, but I'm enjoying the progress on the Blorbos. Hell yeah, I'm glad you're liking it. I mean, I won't be streaming for too much longer anyway. I should be finishing the line art today, though. Hell yeah. I didn't get as far in the line art as I wanted to on stream, but also, I did get also farther than I expected, if that makes sense. It's a fan game called Pokemon Infinite Fusion. Yeah, I have not played any fan games. Honestly, I've never really had the desire to either. I don't know. I don't have anything against them or anything. I don't know. I never found one that really piqued my interest. When I first did the Pokemon Human Drawing stream, did the math, and if I'm right, it would take you a little over 20 years to complete it. Yeah. It was mostly just an exercise. The main thing, if you did it with a 1 week timeline, that makes sense. The main thing that, like, it was mostly the two things that I really wanted to achieve is to use it as like a character design exercise, and I wanted to use it as an exercise to help me with drawing faster. But I'm going to do that. I'm debating right now if, because I left off, the one that I didn't get to do was Gigantamax Blastoise. And so I'm debating if I should just do that off stream, so then that way I can start fresh with, I think the Caterpie line is next. So I'm debating if I should just do that, because honestly, out of all of the Gajinka designs I had, the Gigantamax Blastoise was probably my least favorite out of all of the ones I've made so far, because I just felt so uninspired from it. But we'll see. I just need to really catch up with commission work and Patreon work, and then after that I'm gonna do a bit more planning in it. And, like, actually get a game plan. Oh my god. I saw a thing recently where people take their birthday, and then they go, like, they look at the National Pokedex, find which Pokemon matches their birthday. So, like, if your birthday is, like, January 15th, you'll go to the Pokemon whose Pokedex number is that, and then that's your birthday Pokemon. Mine is Simisage. Simisage. Disgusting. My Wi-Fi went out for a bit, but I'm back. Did I miss anything? You missed me saying that my birthday Pokemon is fucking Simisage. I wouldn't have mind if it was Pansage. I think the little guys are cute. The Simi monkeys are awful, though. They're bad. But I highly encourage you, especially if you're a Pokemon fan, but even if you're not, it could still be fun. Pull up a list of the National Pokedex and find your birthday Pokemon. The number that matches your birth date. If you have a birthday in December, November, or late October, I'm sorry. You won't have one. There's 1,025 Pokemon, so if your birthday is after October 25th, you will not have one, I'm sorry. But I was so upset to hear that it was fucking Simisage. Mine is Exeggutor. Better than Simisage. At least you can get a Lone Exeggutor. He's a funny guy. But yeah, if you are looking it up, feel free to leave it in chat what yours is. I'd love to hear it. Fido, I don't know anything about Pokemon, but it seems cool. Aw, Fido! He's the little bread dog. I love him. Nidoran? Ooh, Nidoran. It's a good one. I'm really upset that Nidoqueen's shiny is the way that it is. Because, like, the Nidoran male and Nidoran female, their shinies just swap color palettes, except for Nidoqueen. They just make her green. But Nidoking has her colors! It's really rude. I'm gonna try and... I'm almost done outlining him, so I'm probably going to do that and then end stream. Partner hates all the ones that turn green because they choose the worst shade. Generally, I agree, however, there is one that I will always defend, and that is... I'm Googling right now, hold on. The one that I will always defend is Shiny Teddiursa. Let me put it... And I'll explain to you exactly why, because I used to be a hater too. However, there is a very... Here's a... Let's see, save image. What the fuck kind of file name is this? It's a W5QMJAYD6UMZKBQYEATSNWHAHA file. New file type just dropped, everybody. Let's not download that. You'll have to forgive me for having my suspicions. Yeah, WEPBD file, that sounds fine. Now whatever the fuck that was. So, let me see. Sources. Image. There we go. So, for those of you who don't know, Shiny Teddiursa looks a little something like this. It's that gross green color everybody hates, right? And trust me, I used to be a hater. However, if you are also a Shiny Teddiursa hater, I want to show you something that might change your mind. Okay? I need you to stay with me. If you hate Shiny Teddiursa, then please let me raise you this. Alright, you see? You see? They're the same picture. He's just a gummy bear. He's just a little gummy bear. He's just a little baby. So I love Shiny Teddiursa. I think this is such an S-tier shiny. Because look at him, he's a gummy bear! Unfortunately, I miss your rant because I'm at work. It's just me saying that everyone hates Shiny Teddiursa and I love him because he looks like a gummy bear. Unfortunately, I don't think Ursaring pulls it off. Once it evolves, the color is pretty bad, I will agree. But that's my Shiny Teddiursa TED Talk. He's just a little gummy bear, and I love him dearly. But I'm also generally not super crazy about the neon green ones. Are there any shiny Pokemon that you think are underrated? Because I think that is mine. I think that's my biggest one. It's just Teddiursa. They can be overhated or underrated, whatever one you think. I'm trying to think of other ones. I think that's mainly the one that I like. Really, I said I don't like the neon green ones, but more than anything, I just do not like shinies that don't change. I would much prefer an ugly shiny than a shiny that doesn't change. Like I said, I don't like shiny Ursaring, but I will take shiny Ursaring over shiny Garchomp every day. Because at least it changes. Like, those are by far my least favorites. And especially when you're, like, playing Scarlet and Violet, where there isn't a shiny notification for when a shiny is nearby. It's disgusting. Let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish up the line art on this guy, and then we'll call it a stream. Because I'm Eepy, and I'm also getting a little hungry. Normally I'd eat on stream, but since I'm Eepy, I don't wanna. I just wanna sit in silence as I eat my pizza and watch the Drawfee VOD of playing Peak for the 10 billionth time. Let me tell you, the way I was not expecting Peak to become a hyperfixation of mine. Like, I knew I would enjoy playing it with friends, but I had no idea I would love it so much as a solo game. Like, I still log in regardless of whether or not I'm playing with somebody, I'll log in every day to just do the mountain. Which is probably what I'm gonna do after stream for a bit before I get back to work. Be a nice little break. I really wanted the Bing Bong plush. Does anyone know if it's still available? I love that silly guy. I got like 50 hours this summer solo running because I couldn't convince my friends to get into it. Yeah, I have in total about 200 hours in that game. Maybe 5 of them are with people. Most of my peak gaming has been solo. And I don't want this to come off as a flex, but also I want it to come off as a little bit of a flex. When I first started playing, I wanted to look at, I looked at all of the cosmetics so I can see if there was anything that I wanted to, like, unlock so I can, like, get that, and I really loved the goat horns. And I was like, oh, how do you get that? You have to clear the hardest level mountain. And I'm like, well, here we go. So for like 2 weeks straight, I was almost non-stop grinding out Peak, trying to clear Ascent 7 solo. And I did it. So, what I will not do for aesthetics. The things I do to look cool in video game. And I will say, I did clear Ascent 7 solo. I strongly believe it is... I did it before Roots, so I can't really say how Roots factors into this. But I strongly believe it is near impossible, if not straight up impossible, to clear Ascent 7 solo if the third biome is Alpines. Because you just take so much cold damage all of the time. Because by that point, if you don't know, there's like a different difficulty added to each thing, and by Ascent 7, nighttimes are cold, and so when you're dealing with nighttime cold and also the cold of Alpines, it's so difficult. It's weird not being a Pokemon fan, but owning a lot of cards. My sister gave me all her old cards, and so now I'm like, ooh, Pokemon cards, what's your coolest one? I'm just a hoarder and refuse to let them go, so like, I have a growing Pokemon stash. Hell yeah. I think the rarest card I have... I don't know my rarest modern card, but the rarest card I have, I believe, is a first edition Hollow Dark Hypno from, I think, the Team Rocket set. I think that's the rarest card I have. I really want to achievement hunt, but I feel the later sense wouldn't even be fun for me. Yeah. I can definitely, when I play, like I mentioned, I play every day. Every single day when I play, I either do Tenderfoot or Peak. Because I emotionally like it, it's just like a casual, fun game. But I just wanted those goddamn goat horns. I can imagine they are more fun with people. But when I played, you'll probably see if you tune into my Peak stream at some point. I've played with Cass individually, and I've played with my friend Six individually, and both times it was basically just me babysitting them. It was literally like, Cass would, like, I would just be like, okay, here's my assessment of the mountain. Basically just try and do what I do. And then Six had a massive ego and then fell down every 2-foot drop, so like... I don't know if they're really ready for Ascent 7. But you know what? Maybe I can train them up and someday we can do it. My roommates all just downloaded it and they've been my little ducklings. Yeah, it's such a fun game though. So like, even if I'm playing with people who aren't very experienced, it's still very fun to play regardless. And that's what I really like about it. Because I feel like it would have been so easy for the game to not be fun if you're playing with people who don't know how to play. But it's just like, it just changes the vibe of it, you know? Like if you're climbing with experienced climbers, then it's like problem solving, puzzle solving, that sort of thing. But if you're playing with people who don't know how to play, it's just fun, silly, goofy time. And both are just as fun in my opinion. Yeah. It won, like, the Stream Award, right? It won, like, Better with Friends award. I think it absolutely deserved it. It's a phenomenal game. I think they did a good job of the game still being engaging when you're a ghost. My friends weren't bummed even when they were dead. Yeah, I've never played as a ghost. Because I either revived my friends or was the final one to die until the run ended. So I never played as a ghost, but I can definitely see how it's like, still engaging and fun. Because it's not, like, you can still help out when you're a ghost, because I feel like a lot of, what's the word? When you're dead but observing in a game, you're, there's a specific word for it. What is it? Anyway, you know what I mean. Most of the time it's just like from the person's camera angle. But with Peak, you have your own camera angle and you can like move around. So you can still like, communicate and you can still help. So it's not like you're just dead weight doing nothing. On my binder with me right now, but the last time I looked up some of the cards I had were like 150 to 200 at the time. Ooh. Wish you can remember the names of the cards. Well, I'll definitely be streaming again. So next time you're able to pop into stream, let me know if you figured it out. I love Pokemon cards. Friends have supported me through Caldera quite a lot. I feel like Caldera, if you're playing for the first time, like if you're not experienced, it's very difficult. But if you are experienced, it's very easy. Like, it just looks so much more difficult than it is. And so if you don't have a lot of experience playing it, you can get overwhelmed very easily. But it's truthfully, aside from the shore, probably the easiest biome. Like, it's definitely shore is easiest, and then Caldera. And then after that, I think Mesa is really easy. If I had to rank them, it'd be Shore, Caldera, Mesa, Tropics. I think. I feel like Tropics are overhated, and then Roots, Kiln, and Alpines. I think that's like my ranking system, easiest to hardest. Alpines is definitely the hardest one in my opinion. And, like, I don't know, structurally, I feel like it's not that different from Mesa. But it's just so much harder. Mesa, I feel like, is really chill. One of them that I think was worth something was, like, the shiny goth purple lady-looking Pokemon. Oh, I think you're the Gothita line. Gothita, Gotharita, and Gothitelle. I think that's what you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know if... I think I only have a handful of shiny Pokemon in card form. I know that there are some people who shiny hunt, but with the card game, which is very fun. I don't have enough money to do that. And, like, scalpers are going crazy again, so I have not opened... I got Pokemon cards for Christmas, but other than that, I do not remember the last time I was able to even get... I don't even remember the last time I saw, like, a booster box in stores. I feel like Alpine is so dependent on the world generation to be possible. Yeah, that is very fair. Because there are some times where it's like... I still think it's, like, the hardest one, even with it, but I think... there have been times where I'm just... It was a lot easier. And then sometimes I felt like it was not impossible, but I was fighting for my life. No, the card was like, oh, it was holographic, yeah. Well, I think it was still probably Gothita or Gotharita. If it was them, it was probably like a full art or a secret rare or something. Because those are the ones that are worth... my favorite Pokemon cards that generally are not worth a lot, but they are my personal favorites. I really love the full art trainer cards. Those are absolutely my favorites. And they're typically not... I think the most they tend to be worth are like $10 or $15. But I remember when Sun and Moon came out, I loved Illima's design, and so I wanted to try and get a full art card of him. It was legitimately like $5 individually. And I really want to collect all of the Guzma ones. For a long time, N was my favorite trainer character, but I think Guzma might be taking the spotlight. But yeah, I think we're coming up on time here. A little over 2 hours. But I am Eepy. So I am going to leave it here today. I had a lot of fun. It was a nice chill one today. Thank you all for joining me. Shout out again to my first Twitch subscriber. I will probably be streaming some Legends ZA tomorrow, so you can look forward to that. I have no idea how long that stream is going to be. I'm probably... The ZA checklist for tomorrow, I need to get, I believe it's called the Auspicious Armor, so I can evolve it into Armorook. That's the final Pokemon that I'm missing from my Pokedex. Thank you for the great stream. Thank you for joining. So I'm going to be trying to get the Auspicious Armor. I'll probably be doing some ranked battles to get the Mega Stones. And then after that, I might do some shiny hunting, depending on how fast we finish the ranked battles. But yeah, it was super fun. The VOD of this will be available on my VOD channel at some point. But I hope you have a rest of your day. I'm gonna go eat some lunch and probably play some Peak. I'll see you later. Bye!